Today I'm going to be talking about how I landed my first video editing job with no prior video editing experience. So if you're here right now, perhaps you're just dipping your toes in the film industry. Maybe video production is one of your favorite hobbies. Whatever it is, you're obviously trying to break through into the video production / film industry, which is definitely not an easy task. It is very competitive, but I just remember when I was first starting out, I was super overwhelmed and I didn't really know what angle to tackle it from. I didn't know where to start in getting my first job. What's the first thing that I need to do? And I ended up trying to do so many different steps at once and kind of getting ahead of myself. That's why I'm here, is I don't want you to get ahead of yourself. I want you to take it one step at a time. You have to take it sequentially and eventually you'll get there. So don't get overwhelmed. I'm gonna share with you my journey. I'm gonna weed out a little bit of the noise and I'm gonna cut the fat. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did to land my first video editing job. Here we go, let's get into it. Step one is ditch iMovie and get Adobe Premiere. Get the Adobe suite. I know that if you're not a student, it could be a little bit expensive. It's $50 a month, I think, but if you are a student, they do student discounts for $15 a month, but you have to get it. It's an industry standard. You're gonna need to learn it. I know it's a beast, but you're going to need to learn it, so it's kind of pointless trying to edit your videos with iMovie at this point, and especially if you wanna be an editor. Some people might be like, oh, well, what about Final Cut Pro? Maybe, sure, you can do that, but I'm not gonna recommend that to you, so you're not gonna hear that from me. And so that is step number one. Now that you've invested in Adobe Premiere, you are ready for step number two. Now you need to edit a video with Adobe Premiere. What I personally did is I reached out to a bunch of different companies and people on the internet, like Craigslist, like offering my services for free. My services at this point, I know. I was like, pretty much said like, hey, I am looking to get into the video production industry. Can I edit one of your videos for free or some of your footage for free? And so I ended up coming across like a nonprofit company that actually had a bunch of footage that they shot at some event and they were actually looking for a volunteer video editor. So I got kind of lucky, I guess. And so they sent me all of their footage and I just figured it out. It took me about 3 to 4 months to edit the 5-minute documentary together. Like now, to be honest, I could probably do what I did then. If I did it now, I could easily do it in a few days. But it was just the fact that I didn't know anything about Premiere. And if you open Premiere and you don't know anything about it, it just looks like a bunch of different shapes and words. You haven't really made sense of it yet. So, I had to look up each step. How do I import footage? How do I even put it on a timeline? How do I cut it? How do I add an effect? How do I color correct? How do I fix the audio? How do I punch in? How do I fade to black? Like I had to ask so many different questions and it's just a process. So it will take you a while. But consider that your free learning course for Adobe Premiere. You don't need to pay for any fancy course. You can learn it yourself. It's possible. And it's just a matter of getting a project that you need to complete and figuring out how to do it and using literally YouTube and the internet to do it, using it for each and every single step that you do. And this will, 1, you'll get a basic general understanding of Adobe Premiere. 2, you will have a client that you can have in the future and just like a connection. And 3, you have a portfolio piece. After you now have your portfolio piece, you need to, step 3, do an internship. There's not gonna be internships posted all the time. You have to reach out. It's probably most likely going to be an unpaid internship, but honestly, it's such a learning experience that it doesn't even matter, but you have to make sure that the internship isn't just like busy work, paperwork in the back room or like cleaning. It needs to be something that is actually useful for your time, and you need to make sure that you're on set or editing. I reached out to a ton of different companies. I literally cold emailed them and I said, I'm looking for an internship. I probably cold emailed like 50 different companies in my area. I looked up like production companies in Seattle because I was living in Seattle at the time. Like, people got back to me. They would say like, yeah, you know, I'll keep you in mind, blah, blah, blah. But one company got back and they were like, yes, actually, we do have internships available right now. So I was like, yes. So I sent them a link to my video. It wasn't anything fancy. It was literally just a link to my video. And I had an interview with them and they hired me and I did my internship there. And the purpose of your internship is now you can learn as much about the industry as you can from the pros. And you can ask them a ton of questions, ask them questions every single day, all the time. That's like literally the most important thing that you can do. And you can get some experience on set. Like, I got really cool experience on set being at that internship that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. I personally would suggest staying at the internship for 3 to 4 months, no longer, no less. 3 to 4 months is like enough to learn and like build more skills and a better understanding of what the video production industry is like, but no more than that, because you need to start investing time into your own projects and stop investing your time into other people's projects. Meaning, if you're spending 15 to 20 hours a week at the internship, that's gonna barely leave you any time to work on your own personal projects and really get that hands-on experience that you need. Not that an internship isn't hands-on, but you need that independent experience with no one kind of like looking over your shoulder. You really need to do the trial and error yourself and have that experience of making your own masterpiece. Yeah, so after you've been at the internship for 3 to 4 months, I would stop. That's it. You've done it. Good job. You have the experience on your resume, whatever it is. Now you can move on to step 4. Because this leads now into step 4, which is filming and editing 3 videos that you are proud of. Might be, you know, the 8th video or the 9th video, who knows. You need to make 3 videos that you're proud of and that you think that are of professional quality. Then you need to put them on a portfolio of some kind. I personally use, with Adobe Premiere, they actually have a portfolio builder on there that comes with it. So I use that and I think it works pretty dang well. An important part of step 4 is when you are putting together your portfolio, make sure to just keep your 3 best pieces on there for now, because you're still a beginner and chances are even your 3 best pieces are kind of gonna be like, okay. It's quality over quantity. The mistake that I made was filling up my portfolio with tons and tons of videos that I had made, because video production was my hobby in college. When I was like, look at all the work that I've done, look at how many videos I've done, but it's really not that. They're not gonna look at that. 3, I would say, is the magic number. So 1 great video shows, yay, he or she, they can make a great video. If you do 2 great videos, it's like it shows a talent, doesn't it? You know, you made 2 great videos, not just 1. You made 2. You know, you have a skill in this. But 3 shows a pattern. So that's why I say 3 is the magic number. And so step 5 is apply away now. Now you can apply. So you're gonna want your 3 best videos on your portfolio and you're gonna wanna put your resume together. So you might have, you know, your college degree or whatever certification that you have on your resume. You're gonna wanna have your link to your portfolio on there, detailed things that you did in your internship. And something that I did on my resume was I wrote the tasks that were involved in one of the major videos that I did. So I did a little documentary about a band while I was in the process of making my 3 videos that I was proud of. On my resume, I put, you know, produced, filmed, and edited and directed blank documentary. And underneath that, I wrote, you know, little bullet points like, I location scouted this. I independently filmed like 8 hours of footage and then sorted through the footage, created a concept. Like, you know, you can bullet out those points of things that you did and put those on your resume as well. So I do want to reiterate that it truly is a journey. It's not gonna be easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's gonna take some time, you know? So be patient with yourself. I would say overall, it took me a little over a year to land my first job. It's a process. You can't really speed it up, especially if you don't have a lot of connections in the industry. You know, if you have a lot of connections in a way in, then that's great, but I had to start from scratch. So anyways, I hope that this information was useful to you, and if you need help or you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.